Hello, Dr. Vikki Petersen here. I wanted to talk to you about an experience I had this past weekend. I was at a conference with Dr. Alessia Fasano. It was called, what was it called? Gluten-free Living Now. And this was in Indianapolis, and I had the honor to share the stage with Dr. Fasano. I was speaking about hormone imbalances and stress as it related to gluten intolerance. He was talking about the association with autism, and he's doing some amazing research and investigation into autism, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Autism, if you don't know, is on a trajectory of increase that's pretty scary, and what we do know is there is a genetic component to autism. We've definitely seen that when they do studies on twins. However, the dramatic increase that we're seeing in the problem is really not only genetic, because genetics just don't change that fast. So what we know is that there is an environmental impact occurring. And what Dr. Fasano stated was that in his research, he felt that 50% of autism was due to a digestive component, 20% total out of the possible 100% due to gluten sensitivity, not celiac, but gluten sensitivity, and another 30% caused by what's called intestinal dysbiosis, meaning that the good probiotics that should be in the intestine are not there in the abundance and in the balance they should be in, and then that's affecting the body. So when you put the 30 and 20 together, that's how I got the 50% associated with digestion. Now, associated with celiac disease, there was a bit of an increase, 2 to 3% they found of celiacs have autism, but of the autistic population, 20% are found to have gluten sensitivity. And I thought it was interesting because it's the same with schizophrenia. 20% of schizophrenics are gluten sensitive. Once again, not celiac, but gluten sensitive. So that's 1 in 5. So if you were a parent of an autistic child, if you knew an autistic child, 20% could be is apparently caused by gluten sensitivity. This is not well known. And these poor children, what occurs to them, they're born normal, they start developing, and all of a sudden this veil comes over them. You can't communicate with them, and it's a horrible tragedy. Dr. Fasano was telling of a patient who he was 7 when it all resolved, once they found out he was gluten sensitive, but I believe he was somewhere between 4 to 6 when the problem all began, and once again this veil came over, no communication. But what was interesting was that once he was found to be gluten sensitive and the gluten was taken out of his diet, he popped out of it as if he had been gathering information and learning the whole time. So he went from a special needs school to, as soon as the gluten was out of his system and he reverted to normal, he was a normal 7-year-old, a very bright 7-year-old. So very, very fascinating. It's almost like, you know, someone puts blinders on you and you can't see, and then the blinders are removed, and there you are living life again. So it was wonderful to hear this information, to hear some statistics on it. And so this is something that I would love you to share with others. As I said, unfortunately, autism is on quite an increase. But of course we know so is gluten intolerance. So there's a lot we can do in this area, and please share with others. Until next time, I wish you very good health.